One of the most fundamental questions that always occurs when looking at a photograph is also one of the most powerful tools we have in composition, the question of scale. It's a natural reflex when looking at a photograph to want to know how big the thing is that we're looking at. And with most photographs, it becomes fairly obvious. A person or a tree or a mountain or a house or a car, there's usually something in the photograph that gives us a representation of scale. In fact, the object of scale is usually so obvious that we don't give it much thought. Occasionally, however, an image like this by Italian photographer Enzo Cei demonstrates how crucially important this business of scale can be. In fact, without it, this image would be significantly diminished. It's only when we see the silhouette of the quarrymen near the top of the photograph that we truly understand the scale of what we're looking at. In fact, it's only with that sense of surprise discovery when our eye finally finds him that we understand the photograph completely. Because scale is so fundamental to the appreciation of a photograph, it can also be one of the most powerful tools we use with conscious attention. We can use it purposely, as in this photograph, to create space. We can also intentionally obfuscate scale, as is often done in abstract photography, to create a certain sense of confusion and add mystery to what might otherwise be a perfectly straightforward image. That is to say, we can use the sense of scale to clarify an image or to add a sense of abstraction, but we ignore it at our peril. It's an easy thing to forget in the midst of all the other in-the-field decisions like shutter speed and f-stop and white balance and focus points and depth of field. Yikes, and everything else it requires to make a photograph. It's all too easy to forget about something as simple as the challenge of representing scale, or its inverse, misrepresenting scale, in the composition of a more powerful photograph. If you have a copy of LensWork number 20, take another look at Enzo Cei's portfolio, and you'll see that he's a master of this aspect of composition. So many of the images in his project work incredibly well because of the way he plays with scale. There's a book of this work, too, although it's in Italian and might be difficult to locate. If you can, it's one you should add to your library, because it's a terrific project, with photographs well worth studying for all that can be learned from Enzo Cei's creative eye.